Hello and welcome to another Somerset Real Ale review. Today's beer is a beer that's quite important to me personally because it wasn't the first real ale that I drank, but it was certainly one of the two that really got me interested in beer and realised that you know, there's a whole lot more out there that you know, more than your cheap lagers. But I think I'm going to split people a bit with it, whether they consider it a craft beer or not, which I don't really think matters, because it's just the fact that it's so popular. It's readily available, I think, pretty much all over the country now, and you know, you can get it anywhere, and it's in the way they brew it is, I've been told by one of their reps that it's the same. They brew it so it's in a certain way that if it's served on cask, it's the same everywhere. It doesn't matter what the cellarman or landlord does with the beer, it should come out exactly the same everywhere, and you shouldn't really get a bad pint, which is great. But obviously that sort of takes away the craft beer side of it. So I don't know. I mean, I just like the beer. So anyway, I'm gonna tell you what the beer is. It's the Doombar from the Sharps Brewery in Cornwall, Rock in Cornwall. Now I think that's a lovely looking bottle, fantastic, lovely Doombar on the top. But I mean, I have had enough of this on cask and in bottles to fill up a lake, because I just drank it and drank it. I just loved it. I think it's got such a unoffensive, pleasant taste to it. But I've never reviewed it, obviously, so it'd be interesting. I've never sort of sat down and tried to pull out the flavours from it, and you know, to see what it's actually all about. I just know that I think it's the most fantastic session ale, I think, to this date that I've had. I don't know, I mean, because obviously I've had a lot of fantastic beers since the last one of these that I had. So anyway, yeah, let's pop it open. Just a little bit of smoke on the opening there. And it's fizzing up a bit. It's actually the only beer as well that I've actually got the correct glass for, the Sharps glass, which Fred at West Country Ales kindly gave me, and it's got Sharps beer in, so there we go. Now, if you've not watched my reviews before, I didn't fill the glass right up so that I can get the aromas from the beer. Anyway, it's sort of copper in colour, slight bit of carbonation on there, you can just see, and no head at all in there. Yeah, you can't even see the conditioning really. You know, there's a few bits stuck to the side there. It's fading down now. Anyway, let's get the nose in. See, I love that smell. It smells, if you've ever been into a beer cellar, or like an old-fashioned pub where there's got like an old wooden floors, and the beer's sort of soaked into it over the years, and it smells like a pub. That's what this smells like. It's kind of you can smell the malts in there. Not so much hoppy. I can't pull any citrus notes from that. Oh, I'll chuck it all over the floor, shall I? That's why I don't fill it up too much. Yeah, actually, there is a slight bit of citrus coming through now. I have still got my cold a little bit, so I'm probably not up to scratch with my aromas, but I'll give it my best. Yeah, there is a slight bit of I think watermelon in there. Try and clear my nose a bit. Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't smell like the craft beers. I'm not taking anything away from this, but the craft beers that I've been reviewing, the bottle conditioned beers from all the little microbreweries, seem to have a different aroma to them. You can smell a lot more through it. But you know, they're craft beers that you. Personally, I think I like to sit down and sip them. Whereas this is nice to just sit in the pub. You can have, you know, a good 4 or 5 pints of this easily over a night, you know, and I think it's only 4.1%, I think it is. 4.3. Perhaps it's the Tribute that's 4.1. That was the other beer that I was going to talk about, which I will do when I review it. But you know, 4.3% is well within sessionability, this one. But that does smell very pleasant. Anyway, I'm going to dig in. Cheers. You get a slight bit of carbonation. You get a very mild bitter taste to it, and a bit of. There's definitely hoppage in there, although I can't tell which. Definitely some hops in there, and it's bitter down the throat as well in the aftertaste. Very light body to it, incredibly light. Pardon me. I'm not getting much on the burp. I've had a spicy pasty for me tea, so sorry, I'm just getting that. Yeah, it is very slightly citrusy. I can't think of. There's nothing I've reviewed. It's not the flavour like you would get from a stronger beer. It's a weaker beer, but not in a bad way. That's what I say. It's just very pleasant. It's so. I think the word is unoffensive. You know, it doesn't matter what style of beer you're into. I don't see how you could say I don't like that, because there's nothing about it that you would dislike. You might think it's bland or boring, but then that's up to you. But I just think it's very unoffensive. Well, that's what I like about it. It could appeal to so many people. You know, you get a tiny bit of bitter in there, a tiny bit of from the hops. There's a tiny bit of maltiness in there. Nothing massive. Nothing really stands out. But you can quite happily sit there and drink away. It's just, I like it. I'll pour the rest in and then I'll read the bottle for you. Just realised it's 8.5 minutes and I haven't even read the bottle yet. I try and keep them under 10 minutes now because people get bored otherwise. Sharps Rock Cornwall, exceptional bottled beer, the best of Cornwall, 4.3% ABV. Doombar. Doombar is named after the infamous sandbank at the mouth of the Camel Estuary in North Cornwall. There is much legend surrounding the sandbank's origin, but the Doombar's notoriety is built on the wrecks of countless number of ships that, over the centuries, came to grief within its reach. Doombar is an exceptional beer with a fine balance of spicy, resinous hop, inviting sweet malt and delicate roasted notes. Just like its namesake, the beer is firmly part of Cornish legend. Served chilled, recommended weekly limit. Don't worry about that. 500ml clear glass bottle. www.sharpsbrewery.co.uk. But I mean, I just really like it. I just think it's just. I mean, you know, like I say, it's quite personal to me because I think it's the beer that actually got me into real ale. You know, but I mean, the conditioning is not bad on that. I mean, I got this for £1.75 for a nice pint. You know, I don't think you can knock that. But it is very well balanced. Very well balanced. I think I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. Because I just think it's a great beer, really good beer. If you're new to real ale and you're unsure about what to buy and you don't know, get a bottle of this. You get it in all the main supermarkets, and probably even little small off licenses will have it, and you'll probably find it in your sort of your big named pubs as well. I would imagine a lot of them probably even got it in Wetherspoons or somewhere like that, because it's very they've really pushed it now, and I think that the brewery's now been taken over by Coors or Molson Coors, so obviously they're going to have a lot of drive with it. So I think you'll probably find it anywhere, which is great, and it should taste the same all over the country, apparently. Yeah, but 7 out of 10 for that one. I'm going to go now because it's 11 minutes and you've probably already disappeared. Thanks for watching. Join me again on another review, and cheers.